Goeienaand, welkom by Fokus. Ek is Lenet. Ons hoor later in die program meer oor die gemeenskapsaal in Uitenhaag wat ontstoke inwoners afgebrand is. Ryk geskiedenis en is gereeld aktiviste tydens die apartheid inkomste gebruik. Negatiewe inligting van meer as 1 miljoen kredietgebruikers kan al voor bureaus verwyder word. Na 4 miljoen Suid-Afrikaners hierdeur geraak. Die kabinet het besluit dat alle negatiewe inligting totaal en al verwyder moet word, basis ongeag die omstandighede. Op skuld van toepassing wat aangegaan 2006 en 2011. 'n proses het egter daartoe gelei 70% van die 600,000 mense binne maande weer op die sogenaamde. Ons gaste vanaand is Zotwa, jong direkteur-generaal van die departement van en die ombudsman vir krediet Annie van Skalkwyk. Baie dankie vir julle. Thank you so much for the background and the insight. 74% na 600,000 mense wie eers hier daarop beland het, dan is dit mos nie effektief.
Jong, dit hang natuurlik af van wat. Ek dink ek moet net dit posisioneer van waar ons kom. Organisasie wat verbruikers. In die eerste afwering is kredietinligting, soos op 'n kredietbureau negatief dan en ons doen dit gratis en ons ook op die kredietbureaus en ook op die kredietgewers. En dan net wat ons in werk is in terme van die krediettransaksie is mense voel hulle rentekoerse is te hoog ensovoorts ensovoorts. So dit is net waar ons kyk. So in terme is dit effektief. Dit hang af. Kyk, jy weet daar's 'n groot gros mense by. En maar by Zotwa die detail kry.
Voor ons net verder beweeg, die mees algemene klagtes die krediet ombud, waaroor gaan dit?
Wel, dit is verskeie goed, jy weet, in terme van datums gedateer word nie, wat miskien verplaas is, inligting wat aan iemand anders behoort wat sy naam uitgekom het. So daar's verskillende kategorieë en klagtes wat ons na kyk. Deurentyd genoem, so ons help ons 'n jaarverslag uit wat ons spesifiek bekend maak.
I think the anxiousness with a lot of consumers, those that have been listed or have bad records, they want to know whether they qualify and who qualifies.
Look, and I think this is an important topic, and I think it is important that of what is happening. What this is a process of adverse information. One thing that
is qualified as or seen as adverse.
That when you have not been paid, you are maybe referred for collection information that will be available because they keep the information about your history and it will sit with the credit bureau. Judgment, for instance, against your name will also sit with the bureau so that a credit provider that needs to can be in a position to see are you, whether you'll be able to afford credit, do you bring with, so that they can also be in accordingly for that risk. But a message that we must be sending is this is not a credit amnesty, that your debt is going to be removed, that you don't have an obligation.
So you still have a responsibility.
You have a contract with the credit provider money, and so what it means, you are still responsible for paying back that money. What it means is that any that is going to be removed is to allow it, that is if you can afford that further access to credit. It is not an amnesty, and hence the and cabinet said, let's remove credit amnesty so that you don't confuse people. Message
because
clearly
there's so many people that think debtless now.
No, that is not. In fact, we are urging consumers, if you do pay it up, it is going to make this process easier, in fact, so that when you are removed completely, in a sense, your name, but then also when you go to a credit provider assessment, then it is clear that you don't debt that you're still servicing, then it makes it even much easier, or at least it becomes much better.
Quickly on this affordability assessment, because at that as well.
Yes, and I think again to consumers. I know that this is sent to credit providers, but particularly a lot of information that is affordability assessment is information that comes from me as a consumer. The one that's supposed to say how much spent in my household every month. How much do I have remaining, so that if I'll be able to pay. If I do not disclose honestly as a consumer, I am actually, what it means is that somebody's going to extend credit to me able to service. And what that will mean is that again, because you're not affording to pay your consumers, please, when you go, whether you go to, you get credit, disclose fully expenditure is, how much income you have on food, on clothes, on electricity, so that then or the retailer can be in a position to say that you now are left with so much.
Maar wat is die doel dan daarvan? Want aan die weet jy, ek kan nie my skuld swartlys is of hoekom ek gelys is by 'n kredietbureau. Doel dan van hierdie soort uitdring van negatiewe inligting dan.
Ja. Ek definitief 'n groep mense wat baat waar kredietinligting gebruik word aansoekers. So mense wat die agente gebruik die bepaal of daar slegte skuld is of daar vonnisse. Baie mense gaan definitief baat vind. Want jy weet, hulle sit in 'n hulle nie hulle kan nie nou werk kredietinligting wat op die bureau sit. So hulle kan nie die skuld afbetaal nie. So daar's definitief baat in daai groep mense is kan sien.
Ek wil gou vinnig koes, want dis eintlik klink dit vir my en jy klink soos 'n bose kringloop. Want dan wil jy graag vir mense die taak makliker maak wees en 'n aansoek te kan doen vir krediet. 'n Bank sou wees of 'n kredietverskaffer. Hoe jy 'n ingeligte mening kan oor daardie persoon se kredietwaardigheid inligting het wat reeds verwyder is.
Daar's kategorieë van inligting wat ek dink ons moet. Daar's die kategorie van vonnisse wat so kategorie van negatiewe inligting, kategorie van 'n betalings. So elke maand hoe mense nou hulle word aan die kredietbureau deurgegee tot 'n mate van 72 miljoen 'n maand opgedateer. So daai inligting.
Ja.
So ek dink daar's 'n mite ook 'n voorstelling dat mense dink nou weet wat hulle skuld nie. Ja. En daai definitief bly so krediet iemand betaal het en nie gaan betaal het nie en hulle kan ons dit bepaal.
Wel, ons moet nog gesels oor dat ons die gesprek voort bly ingeskakel. Welkom terug by Fokus. Ons oor die regering se voorgestelde kredietamnestie. En laat ek maar net weer sê, ons praat eintlik van krediet. Ek maar die verwydering van negatiewe inligting die rekord. So say this happens and how do poor people better access to credit?
Look, what we have discovered is that the number of people that do not even get an opportunity because of a listing, and that is not because it's information. There is value that keep that information. The economy needs information. However, we find that people negatively to actually prevent consumer credit. So once people say you are listed, they don't even want to speak beyond that. So look at whether you can actually access that credit or not. Why you were listed, whether your financial position has changed since that. It negatively, and we're saying that it should be negatively. In fact, we are putting more emphasis on assessments so that a consumer can on their own affordability to service. If you look at the economy, you need to, at all economy, boost confidence of business to perform in the country so that the economy to balance that with the confidence, because consumers are supposed to be buying, interacting, transacting, so that the economy. So this is going to be very important in a sense that consumers we have being able to the market with the economy, then we are actually better. But we obviously do not want consumers to be there and be a burden on the system, because they just take credit, reckless credit, afford to service. So it is important that access so that consumers are able to be members of the society
maar
and the economy.
Plaas dit nie 'n groter verantwoordelikheid skaffers en banke om nou dubbel dat daardie inligting korrek is en dat die persoon 'n krediet waard. 'n Groter verpligting op verbruikers, want ek kan nie my indink dat hier tyd, maar die risiko's en die rente gaan soveel hoër wees, want ons wil waarborg dat jy
is definitief daai moontlikheid dat dra mens die inligting wegvat wat gebruik om te bepaal of daar risiko is. Meer half bang miskien om die krediet te gee. Kan realiseer rentekoerse. So dit is definitief 'n opbreek in kategorieë en sê wat verwyder. Jy weet, word die krediet in 'n posisie waar daar geen inligting is. En dit is nie heeltemal die geval nie. Jy weet, vele word wel daar gehou. So en ek dink ons ook kan sien, want verbruikers is partykeer onder met hierdie hele projek dat hulle 'n krediet gaan kry en dat niemand gaan weet van daar buite is nie totaal nie waar.
Kan ek jou onderbreek? Een van spesifiek vir my gevra op Twitter vir ons ek by skuldberader is, hoe af die verbruiker gaan daardie proses nog die negatiewe inligting net verwyder, maar ek moet inkomste wat die skuldberader namens my nakom.
Ek dink dit is een van die belangrikste. As daar een boodskap is wat ons kan uitstuur vanaand is die kredietwaardigheid hy presies dieselfde. So mense moet en die inligting van die skuld moet verwyder word van die skuld self. Maar wat onder berading is definitief die skuld en die negatiewe inligting dat die persoon wel onder berading is gaan ook op die kredietbureau.
So kredietbureaus hulle take op verskerp hierso so vinnig moontlik te prosesseer sodat dit vir daar is van die verbruiker.
Dis reg, want sodra die inligting is tot die beskikbaar, kan hulle die beter besluite neem.
So I wanted to add there that it is necessary as well to provide the bureaus as quickly as possible and to remove the information as quickly as possible. Once this is the implementation is going to rely on that, because we've had a meeting with them. They around the the timing for the, but they are looking at this and they're looking at for education and awareness. They want to be the strength of this, and we are talking to them about education and awareness together with the national regulator, so that we can actually have this better. But I think the other thing is that the issue around the risk is associated with lending is also going to be mitigated by the profile will still remain, in a sense that it says that the negative information that is there necessarily at that much, because we've done assessment through independent actuaries who have, and the risk really is being mitigated by now. But on its own, this process is not going to, it needs to come with the education and awareness, it needs to come with the enhanced affordability assessments, come with a number of other issues.
Elaborate then. So how is this going to take place? Also, bit of this discussions that you've had with the, what are their concerns besides the awareness? Because at the end of the day, you must say, no, we're inconclusive about certain.
Look, they are very, very open about concerns are valid.
Give our
One of the
consumers and
concerns,
viewers
yes, one of the concerns that was raised by the creditors specifically was that initially they blanket amnesty, and then we had a discussion in terms of the elements of it. It is a limited process. It is not a amnesty. You wipe off a consumer's debt and so forth. That would have been undesirable, of course. So we've had a discussion with that. And element was the issue that how to price for the risk when we don't have. I think that the payment profile will still remain. So the concern Credit Bureau Association, for instance, some of the smaller credit providers, smaller ones that do not have access to information in the credit bureaus, normally have the information only, but they don't have access to the file. So what we're talking about now is how many of those will be impacted upon intervention, then can we put in place access so that they do not sit at the advantage. All of those issues, we've looked at them and we have found actually mitigating that. And we think that if we, the industry, government, the regulator, and the consumer organizations, we are to be an effective process that is going to be about least enhanced access to credit, which is necessary for this country, and also that will improve in this country, because a whole lot of got a listing from their loans, they cannot even get employment because they are using that wrongly again to prevent them from getting
this. We need to get concerns. I want to raise it with you. So as ons terugkom gaan bly ingeskakel, is belangrik, miljoene verbruikers. Welkom terug. Ons sit die gesprek voort. Voorgestelde kredietamnestie en hoe dit dan. En net voor die breek het jy posisie is en dat daar nog steeds teen hulle gediskrimineer. Quickly talk about some abuses, even in the recent garnishing orders. People don't why the credit bureau haven't updated to clear their name. What are some of the other abuses that you've investigations thus far?
Look, we've picked up also in the research is that a number of people are saying they actually don't that they are being listed and know that they can approach the credit bureau and ask for a record to see their record. Actually can't do that. It's free of charge. So approach any credit bureau to check if what looks like, and they'll give you that information. Number of consumers that are being used by people that claim to be, you see those posters as you walk or drive by. You listed, we can help you. They often don't help you. They actually to your credit, because what you find is that be helping you when you actually are now liable to pay them even more. It gets bigger and bigger, so you don't. But also what has been picked up sometimes is the abuse of gun, where you find that I think a recent ENS Africa was looking at particular employs about 45,000 people.
Yes.
Out of 13,000 have got garnishee orders. Started investigating those garnishee orders about could not be verified, could not be authenticated.
Those reckless lending with money lenders waar jy lenings kry. Hoe gaan word dit enigstens geraak deur hierdie wetgewing of hierdie kwytskelding?
Wel, dit word definitief. Ek weet as mens net kyk na daai wat gebeur het in Amerika, wat hier gebeur het. Jy weet daar was mense wat op 'n stadium met hulle begin dit nie terugbetaal nie. So miskien moet ons kry. So daai hele ding het 'n ripple effek gehad. En presies wat Zaltberg genoem het oor die payment attachment orders.
Kan ek net vra, how is it automatic as soon as We have a date.
We don't have a date yet. The round of consultation, remember that we had to consult and we need to go back to Parliament on that. We don't have a date. When it gets to be, that effective date is going to be automatic. Consumers are not going to be required to go and do something as amnesty that was done, where consumers have. In this particular case, we do. The credit bureaus do have the information taken off. We do acknowledge, however, that it take a while based on the systems that the credit bureau to actually take the information out gradually. They are putting their systems together with them. They are looking at their systems and implement that. So we think that it's going to be beneficial on the basis that it is going to be automatic.
20 secondes. Dit beteken nie dat borg is dat verbruikers gaan aangaan in die toekoms nie.
Nee, natuurlik. Die lewe gebeur met die mense, party mense word siek, mense gaan dood, mense verloor. So dis nie net altyd die slegte noodwendig van 'n verbruiker of van 'n faktore buite ons beheer wat dat mense swak.
Zodwa, baie dankie vir julle tyd vanaand of langer gebruik het. Fokus het verlede Sondag van Bloemfontein se deeltitelkomplekse resentlik die Mangaung Metro verspreider in die hof aangevat het. Uitspraak is sedertdien in die hof. Die regter het in die guns van verspreider beslis, maar inwoners hof aansoek daarin geslaag om Sentlik en sy te laat hersien. So goeie nuus daar. Gelukkig moet ons volstaan by vanaand. Kykers se kommentaar en voorstelle is skryf net die woord Fokus. 'n Kort boodskap en SMS dit na 304. 'n SMS kos R2. Dit van ons Fokusgroep op Facebook. Ons ook op Twitter by Fokus ZA. Lenet Francis, ons gaste vanaand en die res van die Fokus span tot volgende Sondag aand.